Hey, what's up? Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Welcome to my channel. So I'm going to do two stories real quick because the first one is developing, so there's not a whole lot of information on it. The White House was placed on lockdown today. It is breaking news as of the recording of this. However, with the battle with YouTube, as soon as I upload it, it's going to be demonetized. I'll delete it, change the title, figure out why it got demonetized, and so by the time you guys see this, it probably won't be breaking news. It'll probably be an hour or two old. But I do want to report this and then another story as well, since this is a really short one. So a plane had violated airspace at the White House. So the White House and the Capitol were both put on lockdown. Let's read this. The White House and U.S. Capitol were placed on lockdown this morning after a plane entered restricted airspace. Fighter jets were quickly scrambled into airspace after the aircraft was discovered in restricted airspace, law enforcement officials told NBC. Lockdown was quickly lifted on both the White House and the Capitol. And as I understand it, they were doing an actual press conference, and they evacuated all the press people, obviously. Let's go down here. The White House was placed on lockdown shortly after a briefing that President Donald Trump's counselor Kellyanne Conway held with reporters. The reporters were then evacuated to the North Lawn. And that's really going to be all on the story as of this moment. Any kind of breaking news, and I will obviously let you guys know. Now on to this one. CNN, again, partisan. If you watch CNN or a couple of the other big news channels, then you believe that Trump supporters are a cult. And if you watch Fox News and a couple other news stations, then you believe the Democrats are a cult. Well, what is the truth? Well, they're both kind of cultish, actually. Things are way too partisan. People are way too easy to dismiss evidences if it goes against their narrative. So let's read this. CNN's reliable sources guest warns viewers that Trump supporters are part of a destructive cult. Now, he goes into it later and he talks about how there's good cults and there's bad cults. I don't know if I've ever heard of a good cult. Have you? If any of you have heard of a good cult, let me know in the comments below what that good cult was. I don't know. Maybe it's the word cult that is throwing me off. Maybe it's just bad wording, but I've never heard of a good cult. CNN reliable sources host Brian Stelter told viewers Sunday that people calling President Donald Trump a cult leader are popping up more and more. Yes, because if people call him a cult leader, then obviously he's a cult leader, right? Can you clean your own backyard? Can you smell your own stink first? The Democrats are just as bad. I would say, if anything, the Democrats and progressives are actually worse, and the Democrats and progressives seem to be more violent. We get a lot more cases of Democrats and progressives attacking Republicans and conservatives than we do the other way around. And in fact, it's so bad that Democrats and progressives make up stories about being attacked by MAGA-wearing supporters and things like that. And we find all kinds of cases that are false cases, false hate crimes. Boy, this video is going to be demonetized. Stelter began by noting that Trump critics like former CBS anchor Dan Rather and former Trump communications director Anthony Scaramucci have sounded the alarm bells about the president's supposed psychotic issues, but then brought in mental health counselor Stephen Hassan, the author of Cult of Trump, who said that Trump supporters were a part of a destructive cult. The Cult of Trump. I don't know. I don't know about the Cult of Trump. I look at it as, I don't see him doing horrible things. Is he boorish? Is he rude? Yes, he is. Is he rash? Yes, he is. Has he done anything horrible? No. No, not that I can think of. And if you can think of something horrible that he has done, that you know for a fact he has done, that is absolutely horrible, leave it in the comments. Let me read it, and I'll look at it and be like, okay, let's look into that. But a lot of the things that people say are horrible things that he's done are things that are taken out of context, cut and spliced, certain words left off so that way it sounds like, you know, like grab them by the blank. You know the phrase, grab them by the blank. Well, the first phrase is this: when you're rich, they let you grab them by the blank. That's what he said in full context. I don't support Trump. I support rule of law. I support equal application of the law. I support logic. I support truth, and I support reason. I am not a Trump supporter. So why is it that everybody makes me support him? I mean, not support him, but defend him. I'm not trying to defend him. I'm defending rule of law, common sense, reason. So you're saying that Trump's saying that they let you grab him by the blank, that he's wrong in saying that. But then again, are you saying that the women don't have a choice, that they are infantile, that they can't choose to let whoever they want grab them by however they choose? They let you grab them, is what he said. But everything's cut, taken out of context. That's why it's so important to get multiple sources from multiple different places and educate yourselves in such a manner that you know that your belief system is correct. I'm not against Trump. I'm not for Trump. Like I said, I'm for equal application of the law. Reason, logic, things like that. As my fridge comes on, which is going to totally make the sound suck. But, continue down here. All right. Hassan says he escaped the Unification Church, a religious cult, also known as the Moonies. The Moonies, it sounds like the Goonies. Hey, you guys! Sorry. I like that show, that movie. Almost 50 years ago, and now considers people who support Trump to be in the same sort of cult. Yes, your opinion. In your opinion, it is a cult. In my opinion, there are cultish aspects of the Democrats and the progressives. So I define a destructive cult as an continuing reading Hassan's quote. So I define a destructive cult as an authoritarian pyramid-structured group with someone at the top who claims to have total power and total wisdom. Now, hold on, wait. Has Trump ever said he had total power and total wisdom? I don't think he has said that. I don't think anybody even believes that he has total wisdom. Absolutely not. Or total power. We know that he doesn't. I don't see anybody up there. I have yet to see anybody say that Trump has total wisdom. That's retarded. That's hyperbolic. That uses the deception and control to make people loyal and dependent and obedient followers. Hassan said, noting that there can be both healthy and destructive cults. I don't know about a healthy cult. I don't think I've ever heard of a healthy cult. And maybe it's just the word cult that throws it off. Boy, this video is going to be demonetized to hell and back. Screw it. Whatever. It's the news. The author considers Trump to be the leader of a destructive cult where people are being fed propaganda and they're not being encouraged to think for themselves. Okay, at what part are they not being encouraged to think for themselves? If anything, I would say the Democrats and the progressives are locked into this echo chamber and hidden from reality. It's reminiscent of Rotten Tomatoes score versus audience score and how far apart they are, and they're looking down from their ivory tower of, these plebeians don't know movies. They don't know how to rate movies. We're rating it in 98% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, but yet the audience score is like a 15%, a 25%, a 30%. And it's like they're out of touch with reality. They're looking down upon you from an ivory tower saying, well, you don't know any better. If your opinion is contrary to my opinion, then obviously you are wrong. Obviously you are brainwashed. Obviously this, obviously that. Come on, dude. Don't be so hyperbolic, Hassan. You're stirring the pot. That's all you're doing. They're not being encouraged to really explore and look at the details and arrive at their own conclusions. I would disagree. My experience online with debating and real life debating and what I see in the news cycles is Democrats and progressives tend to be the ones with their head in the sand. They tend to fall along party lines and they don't care what evidence is or what you put forth. And all they do is try to shut down the conversation by resorting to personal attacks and buzzwords, calling you whatever word possible, like a dog whistle, to get people to dogpile on you and call you lockstep, the same name that everybody else does. And that is cultish. When one person says, oh, you're obviously a Trump supporter or whatever, and then everybody else falls in line lockstep, even though I'm saying I am not. I support rule of law, logic, reason, reality. Stelter asked, you say the president is using mind control, but how is that provable? Yeah, mind control. So we start with the pathological lying, which is a characteristic of destructive cult leaders, saying things in a very confident way that have nothing to do with facts or truthfulness. Okay, none of it has to do with facts or truthfulness. That sounds kind of like the hearings that we've been looking at. No fact, no truthfulness, all feeling. That was it. That's all this impeachment hearing is about feeling. The ambassador, I feel bad that I got fired. I feel like there's quid pro quo, even though, Sondland, I feel like there's quid pro quo, even though the president said specifically, I don't want any quid pro quo. I feel bad. I think this. I feel that way. Facts don't care about your feelings. And that's the way we need to go. Wow, this video is going to be demonetized to hell. Okay. The blaming others and never taking responsibility for his own failures and faults. Shunning and kicking out anyone who raises questions or concerns about his own behavior, Hassan said. This is all so hyperbolic. Just so hyperbolic. Look, get your news from several sources. Don't believe anything any one person says. Step back for a second. Take your feelings, put a wall between them, step back, and look at the situation from a whole and get different perspectives. And then from those different perspectives, weed out the things that make sense to you, the things that don't make sense to you, and you'll be well on your path to being educated and well-informed. And I know my viewers are that way because you're watching this small channel because you want to get different opinions, and you want to get the opinion of someone who doesn't give a shit. I don't care one way or the other. I just want to report the facts. I want us all to be educated. I want us all to vote better. And I want the resources that the United States have, our tax money, to go to the proper places. And none of that can happen if we keep getting misled or if the news keeps being so damn partisan and ignoring facts just because it fits their narrative. Anyways, that's all I got for this one. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Help me beat this damn YouTube algorithm. I'm going to upload this video. I guarantee you it's going to be demonetized 45 seconds after I upload it. I'll delete it. I'll change the title. I'll fiddle around with that, see if I can get a monetized version. But I'll try it 2 or 3 times, and if it still keeps getting demonetized, then I'll just publish it as is, which is probably going to be the case. Anyways, thank you guys for your time. I love you all. Peace out. I'll see you in the next one.